Vantage Revival Teabags is filmed in front of a live studio audience. Howdy, sweetheart. Table for one?
Yeah, table for one.
Oh, how you doing?
I've been better.
Oh, what's giving you the bone shingles, darling?
Have you ever had a friend who didn't agree with you?
Oh, honey, I don't have any friends. But I do love me a good podcast. Have you ever heard of Vantage Revival?
No. What's that?
Let me grab you a plate of the cuts on the house.
Vantage Revival, The Cuts.
And so here's my stance on abortion. I am pro-choice. If that's what you choose to do, that's what you choose to do. But at the same time, infertility is something that I struggle with. And I know that for me, I'm constantly, and this sounds bad, but it's just how I feel. My sister gets pregnant. My sister gets pregnant again. One of my coworkers gets pregnant. One of this person gets pregnant. And a lot of the times, minus my sister, it is a whoopsie, you know? And they end up keeping it. Obviously, they become great mothers. But there's 90% of the people that I know that have had babies, my friends in my life, it has all been an accident. And so for me, it really sucks to see not only that, like, I am trying to have a baby and I want one and I've wanted one my whole life. And then you see these people whoopsieing and just getting blessed with being able to have a baby. And then people choose to abort it. And that's really tough for me because I wish, you know, that sounds so bad, but I wish I could just whoopsie and have a baby. That would be so nice. But I can't even try to have a baby and get pregnant successfully. As you know, I am in the middle of fertility treatment or the start of fertility treatment. And it's hard. It's not easy. The amount of tests that I have to go through before I can even get a decision on what could be possible is so hard. Yet someone can lay in bed with somebody, be careless, and I'm not saying that's everybody, but be careless, get pregnant and have an abortion. So yeah, it does suck. I'm not saying that I'm against it, but I'm just saying, like, watching it happen, it is sad to know that, like, there are women, it's not just myself, there are thousands, millions of women out there that are infertile, and there's constantly people who are getting abortions, and it just sucks to know that it couldn't have been us.
Yeah, so then, I don't know, here's kind of a counteract to what you're saying then. Because what you're saying is you're pro-choice, but then you're sad people are aborting their babies. So it doesn't really line up. You know what I mean?
But I'm pro-choice in the sense where, like, it's not my decision. It's not my body. It's not my boyfriend. It's not anything. So I'm not going to look at somebody and say, don't get an abortion. I'm not going to look at somebody and tell them that they have to keep their baby because I'm infertile.
Yeah, but it sounds weird though, right? Like,
yeah, it does. No, I 100% get it. But, like, I'm so for it. Like, if you want to get an abortion, I have nothing against it. But it does, like, I'm sure that I'm not the only infertile person that can go, like, yeah, it kind of fucking sucks that there's all these women who have the choice of getting it. I don't even have the option to get an abortion because I can't get pregnant. So, you know, it's a little weird saying that, like, I'm upset about it, but at the same time, I'm not going to go to rallies and say, don't abort your child. If that's what you choose to do, you obviously have reasons for it. Whether they be big or small, it's your choice at the end of the day and your partner's choice.
So here's a conspiracy theory cap question.
Okay.
Do you think abortions are being supported so we can have a supply of stem cells? Because if no one aborted, we wouldn't really have stem cells.
You know what? It would be something before I could give, like, a straight answer. It'd have to be something I'd look into more. I'm super conspiracy theorist, so I'd want to get my information correct before answering. Seeing what I see, do I think that we're supporting abortions for that reason? No.
Not for, but, like, as a backhand reason.
No. But, like I said, if I did some research and looked at hours and hours into this, my answer might change. I think at the end of the day, there's a lot of people, especially Gen Zs, who, how do I put this unoffensively? Unlike boomers, Gen Zs are trying to become more supportive of people's decisions. So I think that, well, if we can support all the LGBTQ, if we can support this, if we can support this, if we can support this, why would we be against abortions? So yeah, I think that it's just a generation that's starting to support more, but maybe it's something I'll have to look into and see what I can theorize from it.
The one thing I want to talk about is how beautiful this movie really is. Like, the shots in it are very artistic. And even when it was the grungy apartment, there was still beauty to be found in the way that they went about things. Even doing things like shooting from the angle of their feet, which has nothing to do with making the dumplings. Something about that was just so artistically, like, mesmerizing to be like, oh, what's the angle going to be? How are they going to show these two in a scene and have one like hidden behind a curtain and, you know, one behind the fridge or something?
Yeah.
There was just so many different angles in this movie that I felt that really helped carry it. I never felt bored because of that. It kept it exciting even when the subject matter, again, was tough to watch. So there's a scene where Mr. Lee meets up with Aunt May at her house. Or her apartment, and they end up having sex. And again, that's fine. I felt it was a pretty realistic sex scene for what it was. It definitely was not glamorized in any way.
Nope.
But I have a question. Maybe you have an answer, because I can't figure it out. When he had her over the table, on her stomach, why was she reaching for his butthole?
That's what I was literally wondering the whole time, because she couldn't. And you know what? As far as it goes with that kind of culture, even in their porn, they're very...
You watch a lot of Chinese porn?
We'll talk about this later. They're very blurred up. The men's penis is sometimes blurred. I mean, the vagina is constantly blurred.
That's most of Asian porn.
Asian porn, exactly. And so for us to see a little butt in a movie, I was shocked. And then she was stress reaching to try, and she would like kind of grip his ass cheek, but she was trying to get to that butthole.
Like, why though?
I don't.
Because for a second, I thought like she was trying to stop him. Like, I don't want this, and like I can only reach your butt. But then I'm like, no, she's not trying to stop him, like at all.
Well, yeah, because like before he even had his pants down, the first time I was like, what the fuck is she doing? Was because he had his pants on, and she just like reached around behind her and him, and stuck her hand in his ass cheeks. And I'm like, what are you doing? Do you want to peg this man? Because I don't think he wants that.
No, he didn't, because he didn't encourage it by any means.
Yeah, no. And that's the thing too, is going on to the sex scene, she turns over when the phone starts ringing.
And it's Miss Lee.
And yeah, it's Miss Lee. She's trying to call, she ignores. And he does like one final, he finds out her age. Because he saw a poster. Right,
because she's kind of like, again, probably, you know, early 30s is what they're kind of aiming for. And how old was she, actually?
64. And he's like, the fuck, you are old. And she's like, but it's just the body. Or my body's healthy and looks like I'm 30, so what does it matter, type thing. So he like gives her one final pump. And then there's no... Okay, hear me out. There's no clear indication of the penis being pulled out of the vagina, yet he's kind of off to the side. And then when the phone rings, she does this like very kind of like jerky move, which I'm assuming is her pretending to get off of this man's penis. But like he's to the side of her already, so it just doesn't make sense. Like the whole sex scene with them was a little off-putting. I enjoyed the assistant. The assistant was cute. We didn't see anything. We saw some side boob. That one was, you know, and it was kind of sensual. It wasn't as crazy. But this one was just like, her arms were off to the side like she was flying. She was screaming like a banshee. The table was moving across the room, which like, hey, I'm not judging any rough sex. But like, then she grabbed the ass. And I was like, lady, I don't want to eat your dumplings anymore. I don't know, like, I know where your hands have been at this point. In men's asses. So I'm good.
I'll take a dozen.
I even thought about this. I'm like, you know what? That'd be like my dream life. Not in the sense where like I've got tabs at the local hardware store, but I'd love to have like
a whole town give you free shit for the rest of your
life.
Yes,
obviously. Duh. Who wouldn't want that? But I want to be in like a small town near a big city, because I'm very much like, I do love the hustle and bustle of big city. I love being able to, like, I'm a concert goer. I'm a activities goer. So like, I'd love to be near a big city, but idealistically, I'd love to be on like a little acre of land and have like a modest house and just kind of be in my own little space, have a little town, and just be like friendly with everybody and have just like the homegrown, everything's local, everything's that. I'd love to be in that kind of situation. So watching this movie does make me think like, oh, I know that we're talking about how unrealistic it is, but like, is there places like this around the world where you could have this type of community with everybody? You can make friends in a second by accidentally bumping into them, right? You can go into a coffee shop, they'll just give you free coffee because you bought a fake house or whatever. But that would be like my ideal life.
And I think that's fair, that I think people would like to have a certain connection to their community and have that friendship and whatnot. And we don't really get that in the city. It's not realistic. I mean, I grew up in a small town, and you're more likely to get South Park than you are to get this movie. So you might want to...
South Park's not bad either.
You might want to switch up your dreams just a tad. But yeah, it's a little unrealistic, even for being an unrealistic movie. It wasn't...
I hate that you said that word.
You hate that I said that word? You hate that I said that it was a woke movie?
Like, I'm too old to use the word woke, okay? So
but
you're like a grandfather to that word.
But it was.
I'm looking at pictures. I like to look into their wikis while we're doing this.
Yeah.
I'm looking at pictures of him shirtless right now. Oh. I don't think it fucking matters that this movie's unrealistic. His abs are realistic.
Okay, then he should have been shirtless more because he's only shirtless once in this movie. He was shirtless once,
and you know what's so funny? She's like, oh my god, wow. Like, he wears tight shirts the whole time. You can see his fucking arms popping out of his sleeves. B, his calves in that one scene. Did you see that? Oh my god.
He's also a little bit too veiny.
He'd fucking pop my head. I like veins.
Ugh.
Oh.
Hate veins.
My boyfriend is all veins.
Oh, I can't. I hate veins so much.
But, like, those calves literally pop my head like a fucking watermelon if they wanted to. And she was shocked when he took his shirt off that his pecs were big. Like, come on, man.
I know, everything's skin tight.
Come on, lady.
God, he's built.
You fucking knew. You look at that man, you know he's attractive. Just stop. How was that plate of cuts?
It didn't fully hit the spot.
Well, what do you need? 12 inches?
My record is 10.
Damn, boy! You sure love your extended cuts, don't you?
Or uncut.
Vantage Revival, extended cuts. I just want to ask you on this topic. Say the woman wanted to keep it, but the male didn't. Should that be just as...
Yeah, that's just as... I think that's the same kind of scenario. That's still a hard decision, and what is the right one? And again... It's going to boil down to each couple and how much you value your relationship over the situation at hand. And I know from firsthand, because I've had that happen. I can't say who it is, but someone in my life made that decision where the woman wanted to keep the baby and the guy wanted to abort the baby. And by not aborting the baby, it just ended the relationship. Mm-hmm. Which, in that case, again, that just shows how strong it wasn't. The relationship wasn't there clearly. So, yeah, that's the case with all of these. It's going to be a singular decision based on the need of the couple. Yeah. Do we help the baby or do we help ourselves? And again, there's no easy answer. And that's the sad part is there's no right or wrong. I feel it's all gray, and it's a life deciding decision.
Yeah, 100%.
Or maybe it was being realistic. In a week or 2 weeks or even a month, how often do you repeat wearing something?
A lot.
Exactly. So I think maybe that could have been what it was too. I mean, it's kind of refreshing to see a movie where not every scene is a different outfit for no reason. Like, as if we all have 1,000 outfits we wear in 1 month, you know?
Well, yeah. And speaking of this, so unfortunately, since we're past the Christmas season, we didn't get to watch the new Lindsay Lohan movie. I don't know if you watched it by yourself.
I have not.
A little bit about what it is. I'm sure you read did you see the trailer?
Yeah.
So by the trailer, she basically is at this B&B or whatever with none of her stuff. And so they give her some like ugly Christmas sweater and some ugly pants that was left in the lost and found. And she stays there for like a month or something, waiting for someone to come find her.
And her clothes keep changing.
But her clothes she's wearing like Versace, no, she's not wearing name brands, but like her clothes are like these beautiful clothes. And I'm like, this is so unrealistic. Where did she get these from? Because no one's leaving these clothes behind. She's got different shoes. She's got different everything. So it's just, you're right. It could be like a realism thing. The one scene she actually looked good in was the scene where she smelled like fish.
Mm-hmm. Dinner party scene.
And everybody was like, oh, it smells like fish. And then she gets up and leaves. And like a second later, they're like, oh, it doesn't smell like fish anymore. Like, I don't think it works that way, but...
I mean, you know some smelly people.
Well, yeah, but when they leave, their smell usually lingers. I'm talking about myself. So, I mean, like, I know firsthand that when you leave a room, your smell lingers, especially if the whole freaking room is going off about how nasty it smells in there. She really filled up the place. So by the fact that the second she left, they're like, oh, it smells like beef now. It's just a little...
I mean, I don't know. I think that could happen. I mean, look when you change kitty litter, like, the smell goes away pretty quickly.
Yeah, but that's different.
How is it different?
Because there's physical poop sitting there, and then you're scooping the physical poop away, and all that's left is litter. When you're BOing around the whole place, it kind of lingers in the air. You leave, it follows you out, and then for a good fight, trust me, I work in a pawn shop, okay? Trust me, the smell lingers. Trust me, it lingers.
I'll take your word, I guess.
Please. You know what, the nice thing about it is that Aunt May doesn't care how much money someone's going to give her. If you fuck with her, she's done with you. And, you know, she goes into retirement because Mrs. Lee says something that she didn't like, which I don't know what it was anymore.
I don't think that's what happened. No, that's not why.
She was offended by her fishy smell. That's what it was.
Yeah. She definitely was not happy about being accused of causing this fishy smell, but that wasn't why she cut off ties with Miss Lee. The reason why is because she found out she wanted her husband after she fucked him.
Yes.
That was the big reason why she didn't want to cross that business with pleasure anymore. She wanted her man, and it's like, how do you keep this woman young and fresh, yet you're planning to take her man?
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah, I don't think Miss Lee did anything in particular that crossed a line with Aunt May. It was Aunt May just realizing, I just don't want to do this. And she, throughout the movie, kind of implied that she didn't really want to do this anymore. Mm-hmm. You know, that it's something that she's done for a long time, mostly for herself.
Yeah.
And originally she was getting the fetuses from a hospital.
Yeah.
But they've cracked down on security, and it's not as easy to get fetuses out. So it was becoming less viable of an option even for her to maintain a business that way. And she happened to just luck out with the last one with the young girl.
Yeah.
As the mother lode, so to speak, of the right fetus to get her to this level of beauty that she was looking for. And it's interesting because seeing this when I was younger in 2004, this movie was really shocking. And I think it still is. I think, again, Subject Matter alone is quite shocking. But now, after all these years and everything else going on in the world, it doesn't seem, not that it doesn't seem shocking, it seems more plausible now. Because back in 2004, it was like, oh my God, this is a crazy idea. No one would ever do this. And now I'm sitting here like, yeah, people probably do this.
Oh, 100%.
They probably do something even worse than this, you know? You know, you think about Epstein and all the cases of all the horrible things that are happening in this world, and this seems plausible. Like, it really does. And actually, have you ever seen the show My Feet Are Killing Me?
Once or twice. My mom loves that show.
Okay, so I just started getting into it, and it's very disturbing. One thing I want to mention is that when I was a young lad, I had family friends and stuff who would watch surgery shows on TLC and whatnot, but they always censored all of the graphic surgery parts. Yeah. You never got to see inside of someone, whatnot. You'd maybe see the after scars, but you'd never see inside of someone. Yeah. I guess I've just been sheltered for the last 20-ish years. But this My Feet Are Killing Me series shows you everything, like literally everything inside of a human being. And I was disgusted. I'm like, people can't watch horror movies, but they watch this stuff?
Yeah.
Like this is actually shocking, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, and remember how I said there was that documentary that I thought maybe we could watch, the Suddenly Died one?
Yeah, yeah.
So that one actually was super shocking for me, but it makes sense because I think it was filmed out of country, I'm not sure. But there's literally parts where there's dead there's human cadavers and they're draining out and it's all being filmed. They're pulling stuff out of their arteries. And yeah, like as much as I was like a huge surgery show person as a kid, I loved TLC growing up. I watched it all, given birth, taken liposuction, whatever. But that was, and I love crime scenes. I could Google I have to just really prove how much I don't care about that stuff and how it doesn't gross me out. But for some reason, when it's like actually being broadcast on like a documentary or movie or something, like It's just unexpected. And yeah, it's kind of gross.
It's
freaky.
It is. It's so gross.
Honestly, as much as I want to be a mom and I want a lot of kids and I have wanted to be a mom my whole life, I am terrified for what happens if I have a baby and I realize it's not what I wanted. You know, because I wanted it for something, you know, it's like when you take a bite of a burger and it's the best burger you ever ate. Hear me out. It's the best burger you ever ate and you completely oversell this burger to yourself, to all your friends. You go back and you eat that burger and it's fucking gross. And it's like, am I doing that for my own life? And it terrifies me. I know.
Did you just compare having a baby to eating a delicious burger that actually turned out gross in front of your friends? Like, I just like, that was the weirdest correlation.
Yes. Because what I'm saying is, what if I'm overselling this to myself? What if I'm saying, I'm going to be a great mom. I want to be a mom. I've always wanted to be a mom since the time I was a child. I played with dolls till I was 14 because I wanted to be a mom so bad. And what if I'm overselling this life for me and then I have kids and I'm like, I don't like this anymore. It tastes like a gross burger that I oversold. And I was like, being a mom's going to be the best thing and all that stuff, especially with all the fucking work I have to go into to making a baby. Am I gonna regret it? I don't know. I hope not. I don't think so. But I always have that fear in the back of my head being a mom. And I think that anybody looking into being a parent is going to have not a fear of maybe not loving your child, but just like, I know I'll love my child. That's not what I'm saying. Just a fear of like, was it the right path for me to take?
That's fair. Or just pick better burgers.
Oh, for the love of God. Are we talking about my exes now? But all I'm saying is that for me, there was no, like, I wasn't really like, I don't know. It's not like I was bored. I wasn't on the edge of my seat.
Okay, well, I'm just going to say that I'm shocked. I'm shocked because the movies that we watch and you're like, oh my God, this girl loves this boy. It's a 3 and then nothing happens, but you're edge of your seat because they're going to go to a hot tub. Like it's just ridiculous. Anyways.
No, we're stopping. Okay. Let's talk about the rating system.
Okay, sure.
The rating system is hard for one reason, and I'm not saying this is like, I'm biased to my movies, you're biased to your movies. I'm not saying that because
I gave ones last week to my movies.
No, 100%. And I think that we've both been, whether it's season 1 or this season, we have both been fair with scoring as far as we give low ratings to our movies if we rewatch them and figure they suck. And we keep it fair. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, you're still going to like the movies that you like, which is...
But that wasn't true. Last week I did not like the movie that I brought forward.
No. I know 100%. But it's not the movie, like, for instance, last week with Urban Legends, it's not like it was, you didn't like that movie, but for you, your genre is still, that's still your genre. Whereas mine's like Adam Sandler movies. Like, that's what I enjoy. That's what I want to go to. That's what I'm going to choose to watch. So yes, watching these movies, I might have lower scores because I'm very much into comedy and I'm very much into whatever. And if you brought one of those forward, I'd probably rate them all 3s. Maybe not. I don't know. Depends on the comedy. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it is,
I get what you're saying.
The rating system is hard. And let's talk about this because it's something everyone should know that this is something that we're thinking.
Yeah.
The rating system is hard because I personally don't enjoy darker movies. And I'm not saying that I didn't enjoy this movie, but I'm just saying that my ratings are obviously going to look different than your ratings based on the fact that this is your genre of movie, whereas it's not my genre of movie. So even if I like the movie or what have you, I'm still going to have a different rating score than you, obviously, because...
I don't agree with that statement.
You don't agree with that?
No, I don't agree with that. Because I think each movie is based off the merit of the movie. I don't think it has that much of a hold of pre-consisting notions of, like, mine versus yours.
No, I know 100%. I get what you're saying as far as, like, we're not basing it off of other movies that we've seen in the past. We don't have that kind of scoring system.
Yeah, I'm not going to be like, oh, it's mine. Automatically 15, scores across the board. And for yours, a 5 is as high as ever going to get. Like, that's not what I go into before I go into these movies. You know?
Yeah, no, 100%.
I guess what I'm saying is when you bring forward a movie, I'm looking for something that is going to bring something different, which may not be coming, but that's kind of where my scores kind of come from is, does this movie bring something different to me and does it instill an emotion? And that could be anything from, humor to sadness to happiness, frightfulness, whatever it might be. Does it instill some sort of emotion? And that's kind of what I base my scores off of. Because I know that when I bring forward a movie that is not in your genre, that it's not going to be something you potentially will fall madly in love with. No, but I hope that you'll see the merits of maybe the genre that it comes from and not just go, well, one, because I don't watch these movies. Like, that's not not the reason why I bring them forward. I want you to be like, this is a 2 because it did the job it was supposed to do based off the genre that it is, not just, I don't watch this, so it's a 1. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But I guess I get what you're saying, I get where you're coming from. But my thing is too, is like, for instance, I'm always like, Dee's gonna give all my movies a 1. And I guess it's the same for you in the sense where you're mad at me for giving your movies all a 1 or whatever, right? Like, we're constantly kind of gonna have that battle of like, oh, I'm giving your movies a 1.5, you're giving my movies a 1.5, and we're always going to be like, you always give my movies low scores. But at the end of the day, I guess that's how our rating system works, because if you're not on the edge of your seat with To All the Boys I Loved Before, where some chick is trying to trying to lose her virginity, then that's just something that you don't enjoy.
Was that her mission? That wasn't
I don't
very
know.
clear.
You get what I'm trying to say. It's not something that kept you on the edge of your seat. Whereas if you came forward with a movie like that, where some little chick was where some... You know, if you brought forward a teen romance, I'd obviously be more on the edge of my seat because it's something that I personally keep more engaged with in my own personal movie watching choices. So of course, in my brain, naturally, I'm going to be more on the edge of my seat in a teen rom-com than I am going to be with somebody eating baby fetuses. You know, like, it's just based on what I do watch. Yes, I'm still giving it a score out of perspective of like, this is not a movie that I watched before, but I think we still have the genres that we like. And if I wasn't on the edge of my seat with this movie, it's because I'm on the edge of my seat with, you know, Sierra Burgess, right? Like, and I think that's what's hard about it. But getting back to the ratings, edge of seat, I just wanted to have that conversation because it's something that weighs on my mind, that like, our ratings are 100% authentically us. I think that we give fair ratings regardless. And yes, we're gonna have those moments where we're like, fuck you for giving my movie a 1. But like, that's what we feel, right? And I think we should stop being mad at the other person, me in particular,
I was gonna say,
for giving movies bad scores.
If anyone watches any of the podcast, one person gets upset more than the other one. You literally
started this by saying, I am shocked that you would think that. I'm shocked that you didn't like a movie about eating baby fetuses when you're infertile. Just kidding. But no, for real.
The truth comes out.
For real, no. But like, I just want even our listeners to know that like, we're not doing this to be like, your fucking movie sucks, I'm giving you a 1. It's authentically what we're scoring them.
It's not to start fights and hurt people's feelings by any means. It's the movies when it comes down to it.
Exactly.
I'm just saying that it may be biased with certain people.
Give it up.
Okay, anyways. Why did Netflix give a warning for fear and fright when the movie started?
So I think I also kind of catfished you too, because I gave the category of scary B&B, which was, the scary B&B part was the fact that it was a scam and it was not a nice B&B. It was very rundown.
Yeah, which I appreciate. I don't mind being tricked, and you may have a few tricks coming your way.
Yeah, exactly. You know. Who knows, right? And I think that's kind of the point of these themes, is to
have some fun with it.
You know, like, you would have never picked anything else that I would have said, especially first, if I didn't say it was a scary B&B. And I think that's what we got to play off of, regardless.
And I also want to talk about Dean. I do not enjoy the acting of Jeffrey Bauer Chapman, or Capman. I don't remember his name. I think it's the guy who played Dean.
Well, the guy who played Dean. Oh, I'm so stupid. Sorry.
No, it's all good. He was a judge on Canada's Drag Race Season 1, a permanent judge. And then he got let go, or didn't come back. It wasn't really determined either way, because he was so mean to the contestants on the show. Yeah.
Like, on screen, or?
Yeah, like, it went to air. Yeah, he, like, talked about people's cellulite and, like, parts of their body, like, they really have no control over for the most part. And to be fair, I don't think that he was that bad on Drag Race. Like, I think he had some off-putting comments every now and then, but it wasn't like every episode he was just cruel to everybody. So I think the hate was definitely a little bit unwarranted, but I just can't stand him for his acting. Like, even on Drag Race, he was on the American version, and he would have acting scenes with RuPaul, and you can tell RuPaul has, like, the maddest crush on this guy. Like, RuPaul wants to be in Jeffrey. Like, there's no doubt about it. And I don't know, I think with that knowledge of him and, like, seeing him, whenever I see him acting in something, I'm like, nah, pass.
Well, you know what? It doesn't help that, okay, I'm looking him up on Drag Race now. Is he gay?
Yeah.
He's a Canadian actor. Where's he from? Sorry. I
don't know if he's officially, I don't know.
No fucking way, shut up! I'm sorry.
Just breathe.
Guess where he was born? Edmonton, Alberta. No fucking way. That's insane. Okay, anyway.
How old is he?
He is 38.
Okay.
So it doesn't help in the scene that, or in one of the first scenes that he's saying that his girlfriend should eat a salad.
Yeah, like they're trying to paint him as this negative person.
As a douche, right? But like, if that's what he's kind of like in person, that's crazy.
But I think people can disassociate themselves from who they are in reality compared to what they do in a movie.
Oh, 100%.
But for him, it's a little bit on the nose, I feel. And yeah, I just don't really appreciate his acting.
But like, even more crazy that he is from Edmonton. That is insane to me.
That is kind of crazy.
I was not expecting that. That is
He's
so
probably
funny.
not very happy with my comments. But
he's like, I'm gonna go find you.
He'll never listen to this podcast. Who are we kidding?
I'm gonna send it to him on Instagram. Hey, check out this podcast. We're from your hometown, so we'd really appreciate if you listen to it. It's about your movie Falling in Love.
We loved everything about it but you.
Yeah, you suck.
Please share and like.
Oh, sponsor. Wow, that was a mouthful of Vantage Revival. Can I get you a drink to wash it down?
Yeah, a water would be great.
Coming right up. Hey, look at the television. That hit game show Movie Q is on.
It's time for Movie Q, the game where we pick each other's movies while keeping them a complete secret. Today's categories are Dreams, Crop Tops, Australia, Fast Food.
D, I'm going to pick Crop Top. Here you go. Who won Movie Q?
No one yet. The show's not over. Is that vodka?
Oops. That one's mine. Are you still down, Biscuit?
I think I just need a laugh.
Vantage Revival has just the thing for you.
Vantage Revival, bloopers.
Since it was more labor-esque and the baby, she said, was feeling bigger, there is, what is it called? Episiotomy. Okay.
Say it again.
Episiotomy.
Well, say it in like the whole sentence. This isn't a Hooked by Phonics podcast.
Piece it together. Put it in for me. Is it going?
Yes. So he made like a 40-minute version of Dumplings and removed a...
Zeta! They never fucking do this, ever.
You say that, but every time we do this, they do this.
Like, they're like, oh, mom's doing something with her fucking life, let's ruin it.
And she was quite young, too, in 2004. Like, she's not that old.
Okay, I was gonna say, I looked up Miriam Young, that's what you said. Yeah. It says, Miriam Young died September 12th, 1974. I'm like, I don't think that's her.
Yeah, that's definitely not her. See, this was filmed in 2004.
Yes.
So let's get into our ratings.
Yes.
Like everything, we vote. Just like brain farted. We don't vote. We don't do anything. Like all of our movies. So my score is 12.5.
And mine was 7.5.
Which we're bad at math, so what is
that's
that?
20.
Is it? I
think so.
Last time we butchered the math.
7.5 times 12.5?
Plus 12.5.
Whoa, 7.5 plus 12.5 is 20! I did it! Fuck yeah! I'm good.
Gabriella?
Yeah.
I'm so bad. Gab, I always screw that up, so get ready for this.
Okay, can I say something?
Yeah.
At the beginning of the movie, she looks at her phone, and I could swear it says Sean. Like, S-E-A-N.
I didn't notice.
And then she kept saying, like, Dean, but I'm like, oh my god, is his name Scene? Like, what is happening here? So, before we do anything, I'm going onto Netflix, and I'm looking at that first scene there, and I'm gonna see if what I seen, is true or not. Because I could just be crazy, but I swear to you, I was like, oh, okay, his name's Sean, even though I've watched this before. You think I remember? Nah.
So while you're doing that, I will discuss why I have things to say about Dean. Yes. Or Sean, but it's definitely Dean. That's fair. Did you figure out your Sean thing?
Yeah, it says Dean. I'm just stupid. I just can't see. And I was wearing glasses today, which is crazy. I didn't say I would for sure watch it again. It's a 2. I said maybe I'll watch it again. Fuck's sake. If we were on video right now, you guys would see his face. He's all like...
They can't see your face either.
He's all like duck-lipped and squinty-eyed, being like, what do you even mean?
I'm always duck-lipped and squinty-eyed. Are you judging my face?
Yes. I am, because it's judging me.
You know what? I think that worked. I'm feeling good. Real good.
Good. Now go on and get out of here. And don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you.
How much do I owe you?
Oh, come on now. It's on the house. Now leave. Oh, thank God he's gone. Now I can finish watching Movie Q. It's time for Movie Q, the game where we pick each other's movies while keeping them a complete secret. Today's categories are... Wiener, Security Undies, Meter Stick, John.
Marissa, I'm picking Wiener. Thanks for listening to Vantage Revival Teabags. Check out all social media pages for our Movie Q picks and listen every Tuesday and Friday for our newest podcasts. Share, comment, and subscribe.